Welcome back to another deck tech video where I break down a deck and how it works. Today I'm going to be covering a deck that I've wanted to build for quite a while now. But before I do, if you could subscribe, it's free and you can always change your mind later. Now let's get into it. The deck I will be covering today is Hazeaon, Shaper of Sand. This deck I think is so much fun because it's a version of Lands Matter. However, this card cares about playing deserts, which puts a cool spin on the typical Lands Matter deck. The goal is to play deserts and make sandworms. Now, one of the important abilities on your commander is that you can play deserts from your graveyard. This will allow you to continue to reuse your deserts. That being said, we want to be able to get our deserts into our graveyard so that we can replay them for more value. A couple of cards that will allow you to do this are Elvish Reclaimer and Constant Mists. Elvish Reclaimer is a card that allows you to not only sacrifice a land, but when you do that, will allow you to go search your library for land and put it onto the battlefield tapped, which, if it's a desert, will trigger your commander. That being said, it allows you to get your land, triggering your commander, and put a land in your graveyard that you can reuse, so it's a lot of value for one card. And Constant Mists is a card that's a fog card. It just prevents all combat damage. The catch is, though, that it has buyback, sacrifice a land. And well, in this deck, getting lands in your graveyard isn't that big of a deal, because you can replay them, so the downside isn't very big for this deck, so it's a really cool card. Now, as you probably figured, one of the powerful effects that we can add to this deck are things that allow us to play more than one land per turn. And while a couple of cards that allow us to do that I've included are Oracle of Moldiah and Dryad of the Elysian Grove. While both these cards allow you to play an extra land per turn, Oracle of Moldiah also allows you to play with the top card of your library revealed and play lands from the top card of your library. This is super useful because it'll allow you to sometimes get a land that you wouldn't have access to and can act like card draw almost. Now that we're able to play all these extra lands per turn, one of the ways that we can take advantage of that is Landfall. A couple of cool cards with Landfall that I've chosen to include are Omnath, Locus of Rage, and Scoot Swarm. Omnath allows you to make bigger creatures whenever you play lands, so it'll allow you to create 5/5 elementals, and whenever they start dying, it basically turns Omnath into a cannon because you can deal 3 damage to any target. And Scoot Swarm, well, it's just a card that can get out of hand really quickly because if you control 6 or more lands, it copies itself. And well, this means that every time you play a land, it doubles the amount of Scoot Swarms you have. I played against this card one time with my friend, and he ended up with over 1,000,000 Scoot Swarms. Fun fact, I still won this game because I was able to get enough damage that he couldn't block and kill him. But if he had actually killed me the turn before instead of my friends, he probably would have won that game. So, pretty good card. Now I think you have a pretty good idea of how the deck plays and the different types of effects that you want to play. However, you might be wondering, how does this deck win? And it can win in a couple different ways. One of the ways that you can win is by playing cards like Impact Tremors and Perforos God of the Forge. Both of these cards will allow you to take the warriors that are entering the battlefield from you playing deserts and turn them into damage on your opponents. This can stack pretty quickly. Another, and probably more obvious way of you winning is using your tokens for damage, and one of the cards that allow you to help you do that is Champion of Lambholt. This is because it'll make them very hard to block, and that'll allow you to swing for lots of damage. So, pretty good card. And that being said, I think that's all you really need to know how to build this deck. As always, there's a full deck list in the description. If you like the video, consider leaving a like, and if you want more Magic content, subscribe. And I think that's going to be all. Until next time, whether on this plane or another, have a wonderful day.